Hi everyone, today I want to show you how to propagate your own succulents. So I know that a lot of people have been buying their own succulents recently and they're really easy to grow, they're very pretty, and what a lot of people may not know is that they're super easy to propagate, which means that you can take leaves or cuttings off of them and grow new plants from them without having to bother with seeds or bulbs or anything like that. So what I have here today to show you is that this is my mother plant for one of my succulents. I got it in a bouquet from Phil a couple of years ago. The florist had taken off a chunk, maybe 2 or 3 inches tall, and shoved it on a skewer to put inside the bouquet. I took it off, hoped that it would survive and grow into a new plant, and it did. So it got really tall, but unfortunately the winds and the dog or the gardeners knocked it over, broke off the stem. So I took it, put it in a new pot, hoping that it would root, and it has. So there's new roots down there, and otherwise it's looking pretty happy. I think it needs some more sunshine. It's a little bit leggy, so I'll get it back outside soon. Another mother plant is these guys here. It's like a grape debellum or some name like that. I did get it from IKEA, and they were doing quite well for a while, but they too got knocked over. They came out of their pot and got a little broken and bruised up. So I'm going to repot these guys. And over here, I've got some props from both of those plants. So this is the one from the bouquet. These are the grape debellums. I started all of these by just pulling gently some leaves off of those plants and laying them in this tray of potting soil. So here's my potting soil. It's meant for cactuses, palm trees, citrus trees, and it even says great for succulents, and I think so far it's done pretty well. So these two props, I started at the same time as all of these guys, but they were happier, so they took off much better and they're growing pretty well. It might be time to get them outside as well. And then here's that stalk from my bouquet that I was telling you about. I thought I'd try to lay it down and see if it would grow some more pups, and it has, slowly but surely. There's a couple down there, otherwise it's rooting and trying to grow. And then here's another plant, an alligator plant or mother of thousands. So it too got knocked over at one point, beat up pretty bad. Try to focus there. But it's growing new pups here with roots growing off the leaves. So we're going to try to pull some of those off and get them to grow as well. So I have another tray here. It's just a cardboard box that I had laying around. I put a plastic sack over it so that I could wet the soil, water it down, and it wouldn't soak the cardboard or ruin any furniture or just get soggy and weak. So we'll get started. I'll fill this up. I'm not going to probably pull any more leaves off of these guys, but we're going to go outside and find some more props. All right, here's one of my plants out here that I want to try to propagate from. And I found out yesterday that there was actually a whole stem that got knocked off of this guy. Feels like they may already be rooting in the ground, so I'm just going to try to pull those up here, which should make it a little bit easier to get those started. Yeah, there's some good roots on these guys already. So it's a jade plant of some sort. I've got a golem's finger here. So I'm gonna lay these aside for a second. And if you want to just pull some leaves off, the best thing to do is just do it gently. So I'm gonna look for big leaf here. So it might be hard to see in the sunshine. I'm just gonna try to wiggle it around. I'm not gonna try to tear it or yank it off. I want a clean cut. There we go. So we're gonna take that inside and put it in the tray and let it dry out for a couple of days. If you just tried to stick it in the soil, it'd stay too wet and likely rot and wouldn't give you a prop. So I'm going to pull off a couple more of these. Another way to propagate succulents is if you have an agave or an aloe like this. You'll see at the bottom here there are some babies that are growing up from the base of the plant. And so to avoid some overcrowding, what I'll want to do is take these and separate them out, and these can be their own plants here soon. Here's another plant that I've had for a long time. This is an aloe vera, good for its medicinal properties. I've had this since, I don't know, like 7 or 8 years, and about a year ago I thought I killed it. I had it in a dark room for a long time. It got weak and leggy, and I tried to clean it out and it just ended up dying. It was just, I gave it too much water too quickly or something, and all of the stalks died. But what I didn't realize was that there were still some good roots down there. It sprouted up a new shoot miraculously, and since then it's been putting out new offspring. So I'll want to separate out this as well and make all of these bunches into separate plants so it doesn't crowd each other out. Here's a blue chalk stick plant. This one is also supposed to be pretty easy to propagate. So here, again, just going to try to wiggle gently. And that one broke off a little bit. I'm going to still try to see if I can propagate that, but when it breaks off like that, it's more likely, more prone to getting rot or just drying out and not propagating. So try to be a little bit more gentler here. Alright, now I'm trying to pull some of these little babies. Sorry if it can focus. Just trying to pull some babies off of this plant. You can see they're actually growing up already, so I'm going to try to just pop this off gently and put it in the tray. Gotten a couple already there. And hopefully mama plant here survives. She got pretty beat up. The story here is that we do have gardeners that are provided by the landlord here to keep the grounds for the original owner of the house, but they tend to just get their leaf blower out and just have at the yard, and that's why a lot of my succulents have been beat up, is that they've been knocked over by those leaf blowers and thrashed around and dumped out of their pots. So unfortunately it happens. So now I'm just going to try to keep lining up all my succulents here. I took a few out of my wall that I showed you in my first video. It's gotten beat up a little bit as well. So yeah, I'm just going to lay these on the tray like this and leave them here to dry for a few days. Not going to water it until, I don't know, about Wednesday or so, and even then I might just mist it with a spray rather than soaking it. I don't want to damage any delicate roots or lose any of the tiny leaves here. So those jelly bean plants, I would pick one and 3 more would fall off. So I'm gonna have a bunch of those. Thankfully they're really prolific, so should get a lot of babies out of that. My goal here is that I want to grow enough succulents to give as wedding favors when Philip and I get married this next summer. So keep you updated on the progress there, and with any luck I'll have 60 or 70 new plants by then. It may take a while. These things take a long time to see any substantial growth. And you just got to be patient. Don't water them too soon or they will rot. If you don't water them enough, they might dry out. You just got to pay attention to them and care for them and just keep an eye. So I will keep you updated with the progress and when we start seeing roots or little baby props on these guys, and hopefully it'll be successful. Thanks.